What's up guys, so I'm doing another thingy. So let's see what's in here. Not really an unboxing, it's more of a... Oh yeah! Basically what I'm gonna do is use this thermal paste that I got. Yeah, I forgot about this. So this thermal paste is basically what I'm going to use to replace the one on my CPU. So I can fix the heating problems. Yeah, see, thermal paste, award-winning performance, easy to apply and easy to clean, corroded, excellent long. So yeah, this is going to be useful because I'm going to reapply this on the CPU and the graphics card. I'm going to disassemble the graphics card and, you know, apply some new thermal paste. It's basically what keeps the CPU and the GPU cool. Because maybe after like 3 or 4 years or 5, the older thermal paste that's been put in here is already, you know, it's already kind of gone. This would last maybe like at least 5 years. 4 to 5 years is the lifespan of a thermal paste, and then I don't know if it solidifies or just I don't think it evaporates, because it's like applying cream. It looks like cream, but so it's like a little, see, it's like, it's not a liquid, it's like creamy looking. It's not really complicated, just apply a little dot and then that's it. I was thinking of grabbing the Arctic one, but I wanted to try this one. I think it's just as good. Oh well, might as well open it. Okay. Show you guys what's inside. Empty. Here's this box. There you go. You basically squeeze it like a little needle, and then you don't want to put too much. Maybe a pea size, the size of a little bean, like that. And then you put back your fan and your heat sink, and bam, it's done. There's some instruction back here. Tells you how to do it step by step, so you don't get confused. See, there's different versions. You can either apply a small dot, a little big one like that, or little dots all over the place. Tells you which version, but it's up to you which one you want to do. So LGA 1150 something, that's the one I have, and I have to apply a dot. There are any residues, so basically what I gotta do is wipe out the old thermal paste, grab some cotton or a little cloth like this, and then put some alcohol, rubbing alcohol on it, wipe out the old one, and then reapply this before reapplying the new one. That way it's clean and flat. Hey, I keep forgetting to basically, if you want to ground yourself, you can rub your hands on the metal. Some people like to wear those little bands so they don't accidentally put an electric shock on the components and fry it. I never do it. I never had any problems. Basically just rub your hands on the metal, and that should remove any static buildup. So, you know. So yeah, if there are any residues on thermal paste from previous installations on the CPU, okay, that's what it's talking about. You can use a dry paper towel or tissue to wipe off the old thermal paste. basically what it looks like. It's not much. I didn't want a lot. So we just remove this. And then just squeeze. It'll be like a little droplet. It's not liquid, it's like, it's kind of creamy-ish. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna use this on the CPU and the GPU. Alright, so I'm gonna be applying the new thermal paste on this. So I'll go ahead and unhook everything. Just gonna put this back later. Be alright. See, I'm trying to figure out. Okay. And I gotta remove the stuff in the back. Just gonna replug it later. And then the USB. Okay, then the power, can't forget about the power. There we go. Okay. Okay, that here. And I'm gonna have to put this away for now. I'm trying to figure out where to put this. Probably here on the side. There we go. Okay, so here's the computer. I gotta flip it over in its side. There we go. Oh, that's dirty. Shit. Okay. Take this off. First I want to remove this. CPU fan gotta come off. I'm gonna need this. See, how am I gonna take this off? Let's take this off first. Power supply. Okay. It's the CPU fan. Okay, what's next? Okay. I gotta clean this heat sink right here. What the hell? Okay, I see. These are the heat pipes. I gotta clean that off. So this is the CPU right here. Gotta clean the dust off. Pretty dusty. Alright, so what I'm going to use to clean this is this. Isopropyl alcohol, some cotton or tissue. Wipe it down. First, I want to clean this. Set that aside. Gotta wipe this thermal paste. It's coming off. Oops. Some ASMR stuff. Cleaning off the dust. That should be good enough. Smooth. Okay. It's not bad. Rubbing alcohol is not bad at cleaning. Oops. Oops. Oh man. Fudge. Okay, that should be good. Oh man. It's basically made of metal. See, it's a bunch of metal. It's what keeps this thing cool. Traps the cold air in. Or at least it helps circulate the warm air and the cold air. It's an interesting device. I mean, it just helps cool down the PC. Some people use liquid cooling, but hey, if you just want to use air cooling, that's fine. That's why there's a fan here. Okay. Okay, let's do this next. Let's put some on the tip and clean this. I'm gonna show you guys the all that. I'm gonna show you guys the CPU, what it looks like. There's a little bit of. There we go. So there, it's an i7 8700K. Clocked in at 3.7 gigahertz. I'll show you guys how to remove this, because you can replace that. Basically just press down here. Oops. And then that just goes up like that. And this is the CPU, the main memory, or not memory, but the brains of the computer. There you go. So this version is, the pins are down here. Unlike I think the AMD ones they have the pins on the CPU itself. But the pins are down here. There's 1,151 pins. You don't want to mess with that. So that's gotta be kept clean all the time. Here's the back of the CPU. Basically connects to the power. Oops, gotta clean that. So yeah, this thing can be upgraded. If you decided to like get a new CPU, it has to have the same amount of pins though, like 1151 pins. Like the amount of power pins in the back right here has to be the same amount as that one. So you know, you can have 8 cores. This is only a 6-core CPU. If you want to upgrade to an 8-core i7 9700K or 99 or 98, you know, you have to have the same amount of pins because it's different pins. So yeah, let's put it back. So make sure before you put it in, it's aligned. Crap, there's some dust in there. Make sure you put this back the same way you found it. So I put it this way, so I gotta put it back the same way. There we go. So that's it. You just gotta put back the plate, or oops. Put this back here. There we go. That's it. Pretty simple. So now I gotta reapply the thermal paste here, the new one. Alright, let's go grab it. Let's put the box here. So it's really safe. There's no power coming in or out. Everything is safe. So here it is. The Noctua, it's found in Austria. It's only 3.5 grams, so there's not much in this. So basically I'm gonna use it like a needle and apply a little amount here. If I mess up, I can just wipe it with some cloth and alcohol and clean it. And apply this. It's the Noctua, what is it? There's like a number to it. NTH1 by Noctua. And it's designed in Austria. Thermal paste. So we're gonna put it on top of here like a little blob. Don't put too much, because you know, too much and too little. You just gotta put the right amount. So let's open this. Remove the cap. Put that by the tissue. Just gonna put a little bit, little glob. Don't put a lot. See, there we go. See, that wasn't much. Then we're gonna put this thing right here, the heat sink and the fan. Make sure it's aligned properly, because you don't want to mess this up. Like I said, if you mess up, swipe it, start over. No big deal. There we go. This is how we found it. I gotta screw it back in. Okay, let's see. Let's check if it's spread evenly. Okay, that's not bad. So that's how it. So that's what it looks like. Nice. I'm gonna go ahead and seal this up. Should we reapply it? I can just wipe it off and reapply it if I'm not satisfied. Okay, I cleaned it all up, so I'm gonna reapply it here. See, I wiped it up as well. Make sure it's wiped out. There we go. And then let's put another one. This time we're gonna add a little more. There, should be enough. And then we're gonna put the heat sink again. First I'm gonna plug the power. So this is gonna be like, oh shoot. We're gonna put back the thing. Oh. Right here, plug the power. There we go. And I'm gonna go ahead, and place carefully. There we go. Hopefully it's aligned properly. Okay, let's put the metal bracket thing. This one. Let me fix it real quick. Okay, let's go ahead and screw it in. Just have to align it properly. And then this side. See, like, is it properly? We're gonna test it if the temps are good. If the temps are good, that means I did it correctly. If the temps are going up, that means I did it, and then I have to reapply it again. Which means I put too much thermal paste, or I put too little. Don't really need a lot. So But yeah, this thing is replaceable. Let's say this thing breaks and the fan no longer works. You can just get another one like it, or you can buy a different brand or a different, you know, different one, a brand new one, and just remove the brackets and the screws and just plug it in. Plug the power right there and you're good. It's not complicated once you figure out, you know, once you figure out the rest, you figure out the whole thing. I think that's good. Is that good enough? It's not really getting tight anymore. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Don't want to make it too tight. Okay, we're gonna close this back up. You know what? I'm gonna grab the, go ahead and clean the inside first. Just forget to close this back up. So you might need this again. Actually, I'm gonna do a future video. I'm gonna open up the graphics card and clean, and then reapply a thermal paste on the GPU on this. Show you guys how it's done. It's going to be an interesting one because it's a little bit complicated. It's a lot of screws and a lot of stuff I got to remove. Because I got to remove this, open it up, and you know, because the GPU is inside this thing. And this is the fan that's keeping it cool. I'm going to have to reapply a thermal paste in there as well. There you go. I'm going to use this later. Set that aside. I'm just gonna put it back to the case. There we go. We can reuse it later. I think the lifespan for this is what it says on the box. I can use it in 3 years, which means 3 years before it expires. But the thermal paste on the CPU lasts for 5 years. So it's a while before you can, if you want to reapply it again. You can use this on any computer, old computers. I mean, this thing right here. Wipe out the old one with rubbing alcohol. That's it. It's not complicated. Just rub some alcohol in a little tissue paper or cotton ball and apply it and clean it up. So it's not complicated. Close that up. Okay, let's close this. Wait, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the dust. What is that? Duster. This electronics duster, compressed air. Just spray it. Okay, we're good. Let's close this. And then we'll wait for a little bit. So, you know, don't worry about any static build up. Okay, cleaned it up. Use some mirror duster. And let's close it back up. I think I nearly used all the can. I almost finished up the can, so it's almost empty. Let's close this up. And then we're gonna hook everything up and test it. I'm gonna test the temperatures, show you guys how. I usually use CPU, or not CPU, but yeah, you can use GPU Z or core temp. I usually use core temp for CPU. Check the thermals for the temperature. Alright, so okay, let's put it back up here and we're good. Okay, let's plug everything back. First I'm gonna put this. Oh, that's kind of heavy. Just a sec. Okay. Whew. Pretty heavy with one hand. Okay, line it up. Make sure it's nice. I'm gonna wipe this later. It's a little dusty. There we go. Everything should be lined up. Oops. Okay. And then I'm gonna plug the USB thingies from the back. That's one. Okay, let's plug the rest of these USB in. Should be good. And then the silver one. Or the gray, whatever, silver. It looks gray. Okay, there we go. Maybe I should put this on the bottom. Put this on the top. Put this one on the bottom. Okay. And then the power's down there. Shit. Wait, I gotta plug in the HDMI first. Okay. First I gotta plug these in. HDMI. Whoa, these wires are all messed up. There we go. A little bit messed up there. There we go. Alright, next is the power. Most important part. Without this was not going to turn on. So I need power. There we go. Make sure that's secure. Okay. And then we're gonna plug all the stuff from the front. Okay. Let's see. Let's do the camera first. This is my webcam. controller. Oh wait, did I miss something? I think I did. Okay, put the light here, and then I'm gonna put the keyboard and mouse. The green one is the keyboard. Then just the controller for the gamepad. There we go. And then for the earphones. Oh, wait. Is that the one for the earphones? It's probably this one. Okay. Oops. So the earphones. There we go. The antenna for the Wi-Fi. It's got a strong signal. It's dual band. So let's turn this on. All right. And then we're gonna turn on the back. Make sure there's lights. Yes. Okay. Oops. I'm just trying to clean these. Grab that. Yes, right in the corner. Okay. So now we're gonna test it. Moment of truth, guys. See if it works. Oops. Let's turn on the lights. Looks more interesting that way. Turn on the power. There we go. Then press the button. Oh shit. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, fan works. Spinning. Alright, I'm gonna reset the thing first. I'm gonna go to the BIOS. Oops. Forgot to press the delete button. New CPU installed. Please enter setup to configure system. Press F1 to set up. You thought it's a new CPU. All I did was clean up the one I had. Right, recognizes it. 8700 CPU. Okay, it's recognized. Recognize all the RAM. Nice. Temperature CPU is 31 degrees Celsius. Oh, perfect. But it's the same. I don't think there was any difference from before I cleaned it when I added the new thermal paste. Let's optimize all the fans again. Optimize all. Yeah. Wait for it. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So this is really useful if you, let's say you're running into some problems with overheating, you know, it's starting to heat up your computer. You can use this thermal paste, replace the old one with a rubbing alcohol, clean it up with some cloth or tissue paper. Just rub it off with this. No matter how many percentage of alcohol. What matters is you clean it off, add the new thermal paste, and it should be no problem. There you go. This is the one I removed and cleaned. So no problems whatsoever. Temperatures are low. 31 degrees is pretty decent. That's from idle temperature, should be around 30 to 35 degrees Celsius. 40, maybe 40 if it's a little older idle time. But if it's on load, full load, it should be around 80, 70 to 80, 85 degrees Celsius if you're playing in a game or something, doing rendering, you know, high intensive tasks like HD videos, rendering really high definition videos or 1080p videos, or you're playing games on max settings. Let's say you're playing something like Death Stranding or Doom or something like that, Doom Eternal or whatever. Let's say you're playing it at a max ultra settings, it's gonna go up to 80 degrees. So this is gonna go up, temps will go really high. But if it's idling like this without you doing anything, that's a good temperature. That's it. Escape, save and exit. XMP if you wanna, this is for overclocking, but I'm gonna leave it alone. I don't really mess with that, I'm just gonna use the normal settings. It's a little bit dirty. Wait, let me wipe that part. A little bit smudge. I'm gonna clean this monitor in a little bit. And then we're gonna go inside the computer and check out the temps using Core Temp. That's a software you can download for free. It doesn't matter if it's a laptop or desktop like mine, you can use that for free. Good thing, it's a good software to check if your temperatures are really high. You know, because you don't want the temperatures on your computer or laptop to get super high. That means there's something wrong with it if it's too high, like if it's 50 or 60 degrees Celsius all the time. But if it's around 30-35 degrees Celsius, that's a good temperature. So the thing I'm talking about is, speaking of, let's turn this off. There we go. Oh hell yeah. Man, them lights are nice. Them LEDs, bro. Definitely adds character to that PC. Okay. This is what I'm talking about, Core Temp. Core Temp. Just download it on Google. Look it up. Install it. Double click on this. Click yes. And this is what's gonna show up. This is the temperature of your PC right here. So each core is around 30 degrees Celsius, 32, 33, 34. I got 6 cores on this thing, so those are good temperatures. If it's maxed out, it's gonna go up. See, it's 50. That's when I'm playing a game or something. But when it's idling, when it's not doing anything, or you can use the other one. This is also good. You can download CPU IDZ, or, well, that's for the main board, but Tech Power Up GPU Z. This, and then double click that and yes. This basically reads the temperature of your graphics card in your CPU. So there you go, this is your graphics card. Information about it. GPU, see, it tells you what it is. The architecture, you know, how many nanometers, NM, die size, whatever, when it was released. And then we're gonna go to sensors. That's the temperature. So this is the GPU temperature, around 42 degrees Celsius. That's good. That's idling. And the fan speed, it tells you the fan speed, 1,000 rounds per minute, 1,194 rounds per minute. And then if you go scroll down, it tells you the CPU temperature, at least the approximate temperature of all the cores. It tells you how much power it uses, power consumption, memory, and the voltage of the, the GPU voltage. This is the pin power on the power supply unit. So yeah, that's how. But the other one, though, it tells you the, so we're gonna close this. Let's go back to Core Temp. It tells you the amount of voltage. See, this is the power, the watts, then the how many watts it uses, the CPU, 95 watts. This is the voltage. The reason it's changing because I think it's using this thing called the speed step. I don't know, it somehow adjusts to the, like the current process. So I think it's like that way it adapts to what you're trying to do. I don't know exactly how that works, but see, the core temps is the frequency is changing all the time. It's called speed step technology, I think. It'll automatically boost if it's, say you're doing some, you know, rendering with Sony Vegas or playing a game. It'll go up. So let's go. Let's say let's open up Death Stranding, for example. We'll see if the temperatures go up on this. If not, then that's good. That means it can handle high intensive workloads without without any problem. Also, if you want to clean the bottom of your CPU, let's say there's a little smudge of thermal paste that got under it, you can use some rubbing alcohol and, like I said, the tissue paper or microfiber. That's even better. Microfiber cloth, and just wipe it, and it'll clean that, no problem. So we're gonna check on this game. Let's see options. I'm just gonna check on the CPU temps if it affects. Okay, we'll go back to I minimize it. So let's see. Right now it's going up, the load. It went by 40 degrees Celsius when you're playing a game. That's perfectly normal. So yeah, good. So next time I'm gonna do the same thing with the GPU. Next time I'm gonna replace the thermal paste on this, and I'm gonna show you guys how to open up a graphics card. Specifically, this is a GTX 1080 Ti. So it's pretty much different with every graphics card, because it's different brands and different manufacturers or different, This is an MSI, so if you had a different one, it'll probably look different than the one I have. So, or a different graphics card altogether, especially if you have the new RTX cards. Now let's close the game. Wait, let's confirm this. Let's go ahead and go inside the game so I can show you guys. Load the manual save, and then we'll look at the temps again. Or you can download System Advanced Care, and you can put this thing right here on the top. So it tells you the RAM usage and the CPU usage, and basically this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're gonna pause. We're in the game now. We're gonna look at the CPU again. So see, it went up again to around 50 degrees Celsius. That's normal. That's perfectly normal, because like they said, the load will go up, especially when you're playing a game or doing something, because it's using CPU power and GPU power at the same time. So we're gonna close this. Then I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Where is it? System, here it is. System Advanced Care, Advanced System Care. Just install it and download it from Google, and then you can install this thing right here on the top. Tells you RAM usage, and tells you the CPU usage, disk usage, and metrics. Tells you the temperature. This is Fahrenheit, so it's probably around 50 degrees Celsius. So pretty much that's normal. Don't be surprised if it's super hot. 100 degrees Fahrenheit, that's a normal temperature when you're playing the game. So let's say I want to close this. This is gonna go down. So, oops. We're gonna exit out. Oops. Hey, what am I doing? Let's go to options. Change that to graphic settings. I'm gonna put it on maximum window or full screen. And then we're gonna exit. It uses more CPU and GPU in your full screen as well. That's just how it is. Because you know, it's the higher the resolution and the higher the screen and the higher the, what do you call that, the frames, the more CPU. So there you go. It's kind of idling around this. This is the measurement right now, but it'll change later. Refresh. Yeah, it's idling around that. The main board's temperature is 84. That's normal. So yeah, there you go. All right, works perfectly, no problem. Let's look at CPU IDZ. See if that's any different. So I clicked on this CPU ID CPU Z, and like again, it's telling me the information on the CPU, the one I just cleaned. So it's changing the core speed or the clock. So everything's perfect. It reads dual, okay. Voltage is changing. Alright, that's it. Peace. I almost forgot. I'm also gonna plan on opening up this laptop, and then I'm gonna also replace the thermal paste on this. Show you guys how to clean up the thermal paste inside the laptop, because you can do that too. Also, I'm gonna mess around with the BIOS, or not the BIOS, but the CMOS. I'm gonna clear up the CMOS and see what happens. Alright, peace. So yeah, that's for next time. GPU, I'm gonna do the GPU, and then I'm gonna do this laptop.